Hey everybody, it's Pastor RJ Stevenson here again with holyconnection.tv, and we are talking about the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Convention 2020. And it is a convention like never before because this time it's virtual. And I got the virtual extravaganza herself on with me today, Evangelist Neechy. What's up?
Hello, how are you? Thank you for welcoming me to the Holy Connection TV family today.
Now I am completely nervous because you are like the interviewer of all interviewers. So I'm gonna do the best I can to get through this without messing myself completely up. Okay. How has the experience been for you? I know that you're very strong in the media area of PAW. What is it that your title is, and how does that work towards developing the virtual experience?
So I serve as the Marketing and Publications Director for the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, and shouts out to our amazing presider, Bishop Theodore L. Brooks Sr., and all of the leaders within the organization. But I serve as the Marketing and Publications Director. And, this year we were headed to Baltimore. Like, we were lit, we were excited, we were bags packed already, we were ready to go. And when we found out that the transition had to be made, I think that for those that sit in that space of marketing or creative spaces, it was like we kind of came alive in all the spaces that we were in, because this kind of where we do great work, we have to problem solve and figure things out. And so it's been different because we had to go through the process of recognizing and understanding why we couldn't go to Baltimore, which we all had to accept. But then secondly, to keep the people informed and excited and up to date is a everyday thing. Like, you cannot lose that relationship, that connection with your demographic or your people or your team or your members or what have you. And so we've had the awesome task of doing that. And it's been great. It is definitely, it was as we go, because we were all just everybody around the world was just all in the midst of COVID and just day by day. But I think that we made it work. And so now we've made it to today where we have a lot of excitement surrounding the PAW 2020 virtual convention.
Now, every person that I've talked to has mentioned the fact that they was ready to go to Baltimore. So I'm like, y'all was ready to
lit
bags and go to Baltimore. What was the transition like trying to regroup, reimagine, and retool yourselves for this kind of experience? I'm sure it gave your department a lot of extra bells and whistles to put together. What was the transition like?
It was interesting at first. I'm going to be honest. It was interesting at first because not only were we talking about the transition of not going to gather in a major convention, but we were dealing with our own lives and the transition that was happening there. We had an amazing convention in Cincinnati last year. And so we came off of that convention just already ready for Baltimore, already ready and just excited and planning ahead and plane tickets ready to go and everything in place, from my perspective, marketing in place and information and, a schedule and all that kind of stuff. And so once I, with my own self, just fully accepted that this was, what we were going to have to do, we just kind of began to get in there and say, okay, how can we keep the people informed? How can we keep them excited? And also give an amazing presentation. And so there's been an amazing team that has helped to put this presentation together. Obviously, our amazing leader, Bishop Theodore Brooks Sr., our director of programming, Suffragan Bishop Martin, Lady Trish Daniels, Pastor Nissan Stewart out of California, Elder Baron Poitier. Pastor Nissan Stewart was responsible for all of the production elements that you see. Everything that you were seeing on screen today from a production standpoint was Pastor Nissan Stewart and his team. All of the graphics came from Elder Baron Poitier and his team. All of the graphics. I did the marketing. Jordan Adams, she handled all things like administratively, and she's chief of staff. And so this really brought this amazing group together to work together. And we had to work together to make sure this was amazing. And it was a beautiful thing to do. And so I would say that teamwork, as if, teamwork was already in full effect, but I think that we just kind of like really linked arms when it came to this effort. So, that was pretty awesome.
So you handle marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing inside a regular annual convention type situation gets a little interesting because you're focused on your selected market or the churches that are already in your fellowship, but then you're trying your best to gain the general public as well. How did connecting with Holy Connection and other live streaming platforms become important in trying to expand your market on this convention?
Well, first of all, shouts out to Carlos Roberson of Holy Connection. We appreciate that relationship and that connection to streaming partners like Holy Connection, because we recognize and understand the benefit of making things accessible. And we understand meeting people where they are. So we wanted to be able to reach beyond our reach and extend that scope. And Holy Connection has definitely afforded us that opportunity to do that. And for that, we're grateful. And we're so glad that everyone's connected to Holy Connection is watching the PAW Virtual Convention this year.
So I get to ask Neechy a Neechy question, right?
Yeah.
So listen, what is different for you about being in a virtual convention compared to being in a physical convention? What are you going to?
Man, that's a loaded question. That's a loaded question because, I was joking with some of the PAW social media team. Shouts out to them because they are amazing. But I was joking with them and we were just kind of saying like how today we would be up and we'd be trying to figure out what time is choir rehearsal and what is everybody wearing tonight. And we'd be in the lobby, because we order food late at night, waiting to see what kind of food we're going to get, or outside talking after the convention. That is the part that I have missed, but I also appreciate, I think what has really helped to bring that together for me is the camaraderie of the team, and then also just being able to access and communicate with the people through social media, through the streaming platforms, as we've done over the last several weeks preparing. So it's in any environment, to not be able to get together in all of our environments is definitely unique for us at this moment. But I think that we came together and made the best of it.
Gotcha. Listen, I know you got 1,000 things to do because your thumbs be steady loaded. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us today at holyconnections.tv. We're so excited about the possibilities of what can happen during a virtual convention like this, and definitely look forward to seeing Pentecostal's Assembly of the World 2020 go to a whole nother level due to us partnering together for the platform. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, RJ.
All right. See you next time.